I was actually looking for Minerva." She gave me the hearty smile that was always a bit too reminiscent of her father's for my taste. "I probably should have called on my way over. Any chance you're available?" "Of course she is," Sajani said before I could answer. Behind Elaine's back, she gestured frantically at me, which was when I realized I probably looked like I'd been turned to stone, or like an utter nitwit. I stood and snapped my gaping mouth closed. Why on earth would she want to talk to me instead of Sajani? Not only did Elaine not like me, I was by far the junior member of the two-person events team. I'd been there less than 4 months. There was one obvious answer to that question. Percy had made her do it. Bless his heart, he was one of the sweetest people I'd ever known, but he did, on occasion, cross over to the bossy side. I tried not to cringe as I echoed Sajani's words. "Of course I am. Can I offer you something to drink?" No, I'm actually hoping not to stay long." "Should we just grab a quick look at the calendar then if you're in a hurry?" "We're in a hurry," Elaine said. "The calendar can wait. I was really hoping your first official duty as my wedding planner could be to come with me to see Keith Howell. I have an appointment with him at 11, but you know what he's like. Or at least, I assume you do. And he hates me. And I can't send Phil because the whole point is to surprise Phil." "Ah," I said. "So this is for Phil's dog." Keith Howell had a number of very niche and not very lucrative careers, one of which was designing custom pet clothing. Gretchen occasionally displayed his samples in Noah's bark, and Sajani had used him more than once to make dog and cat outfits to match at wedding parties. Honestly, the things brides, and mothers-in-law, and sometimes grooms, would ask for, usually with a perfectly straight face. "And his 2 cats," said Elaine. "I thought Graciella could have a bridesmaid's dress, and we could outfit the cats the same as the ring-bearers. But I'd kind of rather you be there to do some of the talking." She gave me that Clifford Baird smile again. "I'll take you to the diner for fries after." I couldn't help but laugh. The way she drew out the word fries made it clear that Percy had told her the way to my heart. No bribes necessary. I'd be happy to go. Well, maybe happy wasn't the right word, considering Keith Howell was a known ratbag. But I was at least willing. I'd met him twice. He'd been unpleasant both times and gotten my name wrong the second one. But as I understood it, that was practically affection compared to how he treated everybody else. "You don't mind if I leave Plant?" I asked Sajani. I usually didn't bring him to the office if I wasn't going to be there all day. "There's a bone in my top drawer if you need to go out." Sajani assured me it was fine and shooed me out the door. A few minutes later, I was sitting in the passenger seat of Elaine's SUV, steeped in an awkward silence that was about as excruciating as you'd expect. Keith's house wasn't far. Almost nothing in Bryd Hollow was. But it was too far to spend the whole ride like that. I decided to take a direct approach. "So, I take it Percy made you ask me to plan the wedding?" Elaine laughed. Not her father's grating fake chuckle, but a genuine laugh. It reminded me of Percy's laugh, actually. I relaxed a little. Yes, he did. He sat me and Mom down and gave us a lecture." "A lecture?" This was worse than I'd feared. "I'm so sorry. What about?" Elaine turned south, toward a part of Bryd Hollow that had been affluent 100 years before, but now looked worn down, bordering on shabby. "About how you guys have been hanging out, and he likes you a lot, and it's time we stopped acting like children and started showing you the respect and courtesy somebody who took a bullet for him deserves." She glanced at me, then frowned. The latter was probably brought on by the proximity of my jaw to my lap. "What part of that tripped you up?" It was the likes you a lot part, but I wasn't about to say so. I wasn't an 8th grader. At least, not on the outside. Percy and I did hang out a lot, that was true. But I was pretty sure our friendship had reached that point where it had gone on too long to become anything more. He was nothing if not a gentleman, and I was nothing if not a bumbling nitwit.